Have you ever looked at someone in their 70s or 80s and thought, how do they still have so much spark? They move with ease, their minds are sharp, and there's this lightness in their laughter that makes you wonder if they've uncovered some hidden secret to aging well. And then there are others, men the same age, who seem to slowly fade, their energy slipping away, their presence becoming quieter with each passing year. What makes the difference? After working closely with men over 60 for more than a decade, I've come to realize something most people never talk about. It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's something far more personal, something we're told to forget, to leave behind as we grow older. But what if I told you that reconnecting with your own body, rediscovering a simple, natural pleasure could be one of the most powerful ways to stay vibrant? I know it's not something we're used to talking about, especially for men of your generation, but the truth is, what we've been taught to silence might be the very thing your body is craving. And today, I want to walk beside you through a conversation that's long overdue. One that's not about shame or embarrassment, but about vitality, confidence, and feeling fully alive again. You see, your body never truly loses the ability to feel, it simply waits for you to return to it. What most people don't realize is that moments of pleasure, yes, even the private ones, do more than feel good. They're deeply connected to your brain, your heart, and your immune system. Every time you engage in this quiet, intimate act, something remarkable happens inside of you. Blood flows more freely, hormones that reduce stress and boost sleep are released, your muscles relax, your nervous system calms, and your mind feels just a little bit clearer. I've seen it time and again in my patients. Men who came into my clinic, tired, disconnected, even depressed, and once we broke the silence around this topic, once they felt safe enough to explore what their bodies still craved, their energy returned, their confidence grew, and perhaps most important of all, they started smiling again. This isn't about chasing who you used to be. It's about honoring the man you are now, the man who has lived, loved, lost, and still deserves to feel strong, grounded, and yes, deeply connected to himself. Think of it like this. If your body were a machine, this part of you, your sexual energy, would be the oil that keeps everything running smoothly. Stop using it and it stiffens. Disconnect from it and things begin to rust. But with just a little attention, everything starts moving again, gently, powerfully. So if you've felt tired lately, if your sleep hasn't been as deep, or if your spark has started to dim, I want you to consider something. Maybe it's not about more vitamins. Maybe it's not just your age. Maybe it's your body quietly whispering, "Come back to me," and now you can. For many men, the disconnection doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, quiet. It begins with small changes, less desire, less energy, maybe a body that doesn't respond quite the way it used to. And because no one talks about it, you start to believe something untrue, that maybe this part of life is just over. But here's what I want you to understand. You didn't stop feeling because your body gave up. You stopped because the world told you it was no longer your place to feel. It told you that desire was a young man's game, that once you reach a certain age, the best you can hope for is comfort, not connection. Survival, not vitality. Some of that came from old cultural beliefs, ideas passed down through generations. Maybe you were taught that pleasure was something to be ashamed of, that real men didn't talk about these things, didn't need these things, and so, over time, you stopped asking, you stopped exploring, you stopped touching. Others lost their connection through heartbreak, through grief, through the silence that follows the loss of a partner or the fear of rejection. One man told me, after my wife passed, I just didn't see the point. He wasn't broken, he was grieving, but his body didn't understand grief the way the heart does. His body still needed care, still needed release, still needed to feel alive. And some of you might be dealing with more practical barriers, health conditions that make movement difficult, medications that interfere with arousal, lack of privacy in your living space. All of those are real. All of them matter, but none of them mean the story is over. Because here's what I want you to hear clearly. Your body hasn't forgotten. It remembers, even if it takes longer, even if it feels different, even if you have to start slowly, gently, and with curiosity. The men who reclaim this part of themselves are not chasing a fantasy. They are reclaiming a truth, that pleasure isn't about performance, it's about presence. And the moment you allow yourself to feel again, not just physically but emotionally, you begin to change. You breathe deeper, sleep better, think more clearly. You become more engaged, more grounded, more alive. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to begin. So let's talk about the body, not from a place of shame, but from a place of wonder. Because the truth is, your body is still listening, still responding. And when you begin to engage with it again, even gently, something remarkable starts to happen. Every time you stimulate your body, whether through self-pleasure or simple touch, you're doing more than just feeling good. You're activating systems that keep you alive, that keep you sharp, that keep you strong. It starts with blood flow. When you become aroused, blood circulates to the pelvic region, yes, but also to your brain. That rush of oxygen supports clearer thinking, better memory, and even faster problem solving. You're literally feeding your brain with each touch. And then the heart. Do you know what happens when blood flows more freely? Your cardiovascular system strengthens, your blood vessels stay more elastic, your blood pressure stabilizes. It's a form of light exercise without stepping outside, without putting on sneakers. And it doesn't stop there. Sexual stimulation releases hormones, powerful ones. Testosterone, for instance, doesn't just support arousal, it maintains your muscle mass, your bone density, your confidence. And oxytocin, that's the hormone of peace, of trust. It softens anxiety and helps you sleep more soundly through the night. If you've ever felt that warm, full-body calm after release, that's endorphins, your natural painkillers. They ease tension in your joints, quiet inflammation, and yes, they help with chronic discomfort, even the kind you've learned to live with. There's more. Harvard researchers found that older men who engage in self-pleasure 21 times per month, or even half that regularly, lower their risk of prostate issues by up to 30%. That's not myth, that's medical data. Because the body, when activated in healthy, safe ways, begins to protect itself. And the brain loves this kind of stimulation. Each time you allow yourself to experience pleasure, you're reinforcing neural pathways connected to joy, safety, connection, and vitality. You're telling your nervous system, I'm still here, I still care, I still feel. This isn't a performance. There's nothing to prove. You're not trying to measure up to a version of yourself from 20 years ago. You're honoring the version of you that exists right now. That version deserves care, deserves softness, deserves the kind of connection that doesn't come from anyone else. It comes from within. So the next time you feel a spark of curiosity, don't ignore it. Follow it. Because what you're doing isn't indulgent, it's medicine, it's renewal. It's a quiet form of healing that works from the inside out. And it begins with a simple yes. Now that you understand why this matters, let me show you how to begin. I call this the restoration method. It's not a performance, not a checklist. It's a gentle 5-step practice designed to help you reconnect with your body in the most natural, respectful way possible. Not for anyone else, just for you. Let's begin. First, create a space, somewhere private, somewhere calm. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a quiet corner of your bedroom, a soft chair, maybe even a warm bath if that feels better. Dim the lights, silence your phone, lock the door if needed. And if you live with others, let them know you need 30 minutes to yourself, no questions asked. This is your time. You deserve it. Now, take a seat or lie back if that feels better. Use a pillow under your knees or lower back if you need extra support. Grab a lubricant that feels good on your skin. Silicone-based tends to glide better for older skin, especially if you experience dryness. Warm a little in your hands. Feel the temperature change. Let it soften, and now pause. Close your eyes. Take a long, slow breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in and out. Let your jaw relax. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of your body where it touches the chair or the bed or the floor. There is no rush. This is step 1. Permission to slow down. Step 2. Begin to explore, but not there, not yet. Start with your arms, your thighs, your stomach. Run your fingers gently across your skin. Notice what feels different, what feels good. Maybe it's the softness behind your knees or the warmth of your chest. You're not trying to build arousal yet. You're learning, listening, reconnecting. Step 3. As you feel more present, bring your attention lower. Use one hand or both, whichever feels natural. There's no right or wrong rhythm here. What matters is awareness. Try a soft stroke, a light squeeze, or a simple, still touch. It's not about climax. It's about coming home. You might find yourself thinking about the past, or a moment you once cherished, or maybe nothing at all. That's okay. Let it rise, let it fall. Stay with your breath. Step 4. When you feel a wave of pleasure, no matter how small, just notice it. Don't chase it. Don't rush it. Let it move through you like a warm tide. And when it passes, step 5, rest. Place one hand gently over your heart, one over your belly, and breathe. Let yourself feel whatever is there, peace, joy, surprise, maybe even grief. There's space for all of it. You've just honored your body. You've just taken a step toward vitality, and that deserves tenderness. Now that you've taken the first step, let's talk about what might get in the way, because even with the best intentions, most men stumble. Not from lack of desire, but from old patterns, fear, or expectations that no longer fit the body they live in today. So if this is where you're at, you're not alone. Here are a few gentle truths I want you to carry with you. First, don't expect fireworks every time. This is not a performance. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to feel, to reconnect. Sometimes the session ends in orgasm, and that's wonderful. Other times it might end with a deep breath, a sigh of relief, or a small smile. That counts too. Second, consistency matters more than intensity. This isn't something to do once every few weeks and then forget, just like stretching or walking. The real magic comes from repetition. Even 2 to 3 times a week is enough to start seeing change in your sleep, your mood, your energy, and yes, even your confidence. Third, slow down. Your body isn't in a rush, and neither is this process. In fact, slowing down is where the magic lives. Instead of chasing the finish line, try savoring the journey. Notice how the sensations shift when you pause, when you breathe, when you stop trying and start feeling. Fourth, your whole body is involved. This isn't just about one part of you. Explore your thighs, your hips, your lower back, your inner arms, even your feet. Try touching new areas. Notice what responds. You might be surprised. And finally, release the shame if it creeps up. If you hear that old voice saying, "This is silly," or This isn't right. Pause, breathe, and remind yourself, this is your body, this is your time, and this is your health. This is doctor-approved, science-backed, life-giving. I once had a patient, Tom, who was 76 when he started this journey. At first, just saying the word pleasure out loud made him uncomfortable. But 3 months in, he walked into my office, standing taller, smiling wider, and said, "Dr. Laura, I feel proud of myself again." That's what happens when you reclaim something you thought you lost. So let me ask you, what might be your biggest challenge? Is it time? Is it privacy? Is it that you just don't know how to start? You're not the only one. Drop a comment or write it in a private notebook. Whatever helps you name it, because once it's named, it can be changed. And remember, every time you return to this practice, you are reminding your body that it matters, that you matter, not for who you used to be, but for who you still are. You're not chasing youth, you're choosing life. One breath, one touch, one moment at a time. So here we are. You've come this far, not just by listening, but by opening your heart to something that most men your age were never taught was even allowed. You've reclaimed something that was quietly pushed into the shadows. The simple truth that your body is still yours, that intimacy, especially with yourself, is not something to grow out of, but something to grow into. Now, imagine this. It's a few weeks from today. You've carved out a little time just for you, a ritual now like morning coffee or watering the plants. You sit comfortably, maybe with soft music or quiet light, and you begin, not rushed, not judged, but with ease. And when you finish, not necessarily with fireworks, but with warmth. You breathe deeper, you sleep better, you move through your day a little lighter because something inside you has shifted. That shift, that's connection, that's vitality. That's your nervous system, your hormones, your heart, and your spirit working together instead of apart. You've stopped waiting for permission or the right time. You've made your own time. And in doing so, you've taken back the most important thing aging tries to steal, your sense of agency. Because this is not about sex in the narrow sense. This is about belonging to yourself. And when you belong to yourself, your relationships change. You walk differently, you feel safer in your skin, you laugh easier, you take care of your body not out of guilt or fear, but because you respect it. That's the secret those vibrant men in their 70s and 80s know. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. And you, right here, right now, you've just taken one of the most powerful steps a man can take. So let this be your permission to return to your body, to rediscover joy, to reawaken parts of you that were never meant to fade, to live not just longer, but deeper, richer, and more fully than you ever thought possible. If this spoke to something in you, let me know. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're taking away. Share it with someone who needs the reminder that he is still very much alive. And please, if you want more tools like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You are not alone, you are not broken, and it is never too late to begin.